Hey guys, welcome back to Brian's Train Room. We've had a chance to check out a couple of the videos and shorts that I've done. They're really cool, interesting post-war stuff, so get a chance, check on those out. Today, we're going to talk about 6464-1 boxcars. They made a ton of these, all right, and they're fantastic boxcars. By chance, did they make a couple errors or oddballs? You darn right they did, and those are coming your way. Lionel introduced the 6464 series of boxcars in 1953. The series continued through the conclusion of the post-war era in 1969. The very first car in the series was the 6464-1 Western Pacific. The Western Pacific is commonly found as a painted silver boxcar with blue heat-stamped lettering. It was popular and sold well. But because of the silver paint, a like-new to mint example is very desirable. The 6464-1 was made in significant numbers, and, as with anything produced in high quantities, mistakes are bound to happen. There are two terms that need to be defined and clarified. First is what is called a factory error. A factory error or mistake is considered a piece that was completed at the factory, packaged, and sold with the error. Essentially, a piece that got missed by quality control. The most infamous factory error is the 53 Rio Grande snowplow with a backwards printed A. This car is commonly found with the A in Rio Grande printed backwards. The error wasn't caught until later production runs when a new heat stamp was produced and it was corrected. The correct A variation is quite collectible. The second term to be defined is a factory reject. Now, a reject is simply a piece that was partially completed and then pulled when the error was discovered. It would have not been packaged and sold to consumers. Most would have sadly been destroyed, but fortunately some left the factory. Reportedly, some partially finished shells made it to outlets and wholesalers. Most collectors lump factory error and rejects together when describing these pieces. Sometimes it's hard to tell if a piece was a factory error or a reject, since some of these shells were assembled outside the factory with original parts. Either way, they are very interesting. Shown is a factory error 6464-1 Western Pacific. Notice, one side of the car is as intended, but the other side is offset by about 20 degrees. This would have been the type of error that would have skirted by quality control and gotten out of the factory. A typically found factory error. Shown here is what would be considered a factory reject. Notice that one side of the car is as intended. The other side of the car is unstamped. So the car was either pulled for some reason after the first side was stamped, or it was mistakenly unstamped but was discovered further down the production line. Either way, it's considered a factory reject. Also note, the shell appears to have been completed, but not with the correct frame or trucks. The shell shown here is without question a factory reject. The one side is properly stamped, but the other side is a total mess. The heat stamp was held down on the piece, or the depth gauge failed and the stamp was mashed into the piece. The shell appears to have never been completed any further at the factory. Either way, super cool piece and a prize for any factory error or reject collector. Factory errors and rejects are fun to collect and are some of my favorites. They also give a glimpse into the manufacturing process at Lionel. Plus, the creation of a fantastic Lionel Oddball to share with you guys certainly doesn't hurt. Alright guys, that's my video. Thanks for watching. I certainly appreciate that. I always want to know how to make these videos better. So there's a comment section down below. Send me some comments or some questions. I'm happy to answer them for you. Now I don't do this alone. So I do have a number of fellow collectors and operators who have opened their collections up and shared pieces that I can share with you guys. And that's at the very end. So thanks a lot. Again, thanks for joining me on Brian's Trading Room.